AI is here, and it keeps on progressing, evolving.
I think that what AI does, especially from the utility perspective, if they have the data and the information, they can profile and understand their customers at a much more one-to-one level rather than a segmentation. Segmentation doesn't go away, but if a utility can understand my needs or a specific customer's needs, whether they're a homeowner or a renter or their age or whatever, if they can meet my needs and make my energy consumption more efficient, easier to use, more comfort, that's a one-way conversation targeted at one person. And I think AI, machine learning, these approaches to deeper understanding of customers can really help that. Without that, you're kind of shooting in a bigger target, and you're not individualizing it. And I think that individual targeting is really important.
We recognize, as many other utilities across the world, that customer expectations are changing and changing rapidly based on the technology disruptions. We recognize that we're going to have to embrace new tools such as AI and bots to facilitate mining that data and better understanding our customers, even to the level of being able to make personalized offerings to our customers, even going beyond the traditional segmentation.
As we continue to look at ways to drive customer satisfaction while also decreasing our cost to serve, AI and what it brings to the table makes it so much more efficient and effective for us to personalize our interactions with our customer.
I think AI-powered call centers are transforming the experience by trying to identify what that customer is looking for before they call, to try and answer the question and get the information to them in the most convenient way possible.
If you don't have regular contact and a lot of discussions, really about things which are very personal and personalized to some extent, then we cannot really talk about engagement and trust.
Title itself is behavior program. So it talks about behavior of people. Sometimes we look at them, they're consumers, they're customers, but they're people. People have motivations. Each and every one of us react differently to different products. So understanding that is very important in order to drive and engage them, whatever that is, whatever my goal is to drive energy savings. If my goal is to drive energy savings, I need to understand what drives them, what motivates them. In order to do that, I need to go one by one, understand them. You might call it personalization. I call it customization.
Vitality's been a key partner in really just helping us, bring and or enhance, an improved digital customer experience for our residential customer segment. And we've done that through offering various tools of their platform. So making a energy management web-based portal available to our customers, as well as Vitality's mobile application, just really to help them understand how they're using energy and identify obviously ways to reduce.
We have seen the evolution happening from advertising-based campaigns to digital campaigns, very niche digital campaigns, to now micro-targeting happening. Let me give you an example. So one of our customers, they were running a pool pump program. And their biggest issue they were running into, to say, it's not just identifying who has pool pumps. Yeah, great, I've been able to come back and do a fingerprint of here are all the devices and here are the number of people who have pool pumps. I needed that next level of disaggregation or the consumer profile information to say, these are the number of people who have single-speed pool pumps. Because now I can go drive that personalization where I can say, you have a single-speed pool pump. And here's what your itemized bill actually looks like, and this is your cost on the single-speed pool pump. And if you go get this variable speed pool pump, here's the kind of savings you can have with the variable speed pool pump. And then, if I can also then get to know what's the time they're running this pool pump, then I can go drive them into the time of use kind of a program. So now you're driving personalization at multiple levels.
When we go out and send digital communications to customers, we actually have a really great open rate. I think for our home energy reports, we've got 65% of our customers who have we have their email addresses and we can communicate with them that way. And we have a 50% open rate on those communications. 50% is a really high open rate. If you look at most marketing materials, 3%, 2%, 4% is 4% is a great open rate for kind of blanket marketing. because of the targeted aspect of what we're doing and learning and working with these customers, this is not blanket marketing. It is specific to these customers about their needs and their individual situation. So hopefully, because we have that constant two-way communication, we try to have as much communication with customers as possible without overburdening them, that they'll take that and say, oh, this is from NV Energy, this is probably something I should see, or probably something that will have a good effect on me, and open it, learn it, read it.
We've also done things through having the EV community. We can look at just the load shapes of those customers and look at the annual, combined load shape of a customer A, before they bought an EV, and customer A after they bought an EV, and compare year-over-year data, and then use that to extrapolate out just exactly what an EV owner might look like in a broader sense. So as we do a load forecast every year, not only can we anticipate sort of that total energy requirement, but understanding what that peak load at the different times of the day throughout the year is going to do to impact our generation resources.
One of the most cost-effective ways of doing that is looking at utilising the assets that exist today in a better way, and part of that is working with customers to understand how they can incentivise and motivate their customers to use energy at optimum times for the system that's going to help stabilise those renewable energy resources.
I think the fundamentals of utility will remain intact. What you will see is a lot of automation of mundane things all industries do all the time. So things like giving individuals optimal performance on their utility consumption should be probably the first thing to do.
Personalization drives trust. Once consumers trust a provider, they come back over and over. And when they come back over and over, what you drive is commerce. And you are a trusted provider eventually results in a much higher commercial value for not just utilities, for any business.